the protest that has been taking place in Jharkhand. Now, LOP Rahul Gandhi seems to have written to Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren over the ongoing student protests. And in his letter, reportedly, he said that the students' demands are legitimate and their right to peaceful protest must be respected. Now, he's urged the Jharkhand Chief Minister to personally meet with the protesting students and to take steps when it comes to resolving their concerns. Rahul Gandhi seems to have also alleged that the education system has been captured by the BJP and the RSS, calling for solidarity with the protesting youth. However, we are yet to see any breakthrough, any result, despite multiple meetings that have happened between the protesting students and the state government. Let's connect with Nyamika on this. Nyamika, what is the points that Rahul Gandhi is raising, of course, on part of writing to the Chief Minister and previously a phone conversation that he held with the protesting students?
Well, Amita, this is basically an attempt on the part of the Congress party to give out this message that they are standing with the students, and that is the only reason why firstly there was a telephonic conversation which had taken place between Rahul Gandhi and the protesters, and now there is this letter which has been written by the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha to the Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren, in which he has basically not just given out this message that the demands, the concerns which are being raised by the students are genuine, but he has also given this suggestion that it should be the Chief Minister Hemant Soren himself who should have a conversation with these protesters, that what actually they want, what are their concerns, and why they are holding this kind of a protest. As he has also stated very clearly that any kind of peaceful protest is basically the right of every citizen of this country, which has been given by the Constitution of India, and for that reason he has also appreciated that the kind of conciliation which is being done.
So let's see if there is any breakthrough there, because we are expecting that another round of talks will happen between the state government and the students there. Thank you very much, Nyamika, for that update. Another quick breaking update coming in, where this is a big development. 2 Air India group pilots have now tested non-negative in the preliminary psychoactive substance screening test, according to sources with confirmatory test results that are still awaited. And the airline group has mandated screening for all of its pilots from the 13th of August, and so far around 300 to 400 pilots have undergone the initial screening. So sources say that no pilot has confirmed to have failed the test yet, as preliminary non-negative result can have multiple causes. So what are the reasons behind these causes, Shefali? Because 2 of the pilots reportedly have tested non-negative.
Right. So we are learning that 2 pilots so we know that Air India Group has announced that have mandated that all its pilots will undergo the screening test after AI Phuket Delhi incident. Now they are saying that around 300 to 400 pilots have been tested, and out of which 2 pilots in their first assessment, in which the urine test is done. In that particular assessment, 2 pilots have tested non-negative.
Okay.
And still confirmatory test results are awaited. This means this could be of any reason. Like, for example, they could have taken any kind of medicine or any other reason there could be. So no one can yet say that they have tested positive.
Okay.
But yes, once the confirmatory test results will be out, then the picture will be more clearer as to is it positive?
So this is the preliminary psychoactive substance screening test, according to reports, what we are picking up, and the confirmatory tests results are still awaited.
Well, the National Testing Agency is now facing another credibility test, and it seems to have failed it. After the NEET paper leaked just 3 months ago, now it is the UGC NET that has run into its own wall of errors. NTA-appointed committee has now found a string of errors in 3, not just 1, 2, but 3 UGC NET papers. This of English, of Commerce and Sociology, firing the student fury that you can see on your screens. The findings are stark. Why is there a retest where there were factual errors in the questionnaire? Can you imagine? Wrong translations were there. Misspelled names of scholars, garbled book titles, and grammatical punctuation errors. That's just some of the errors due to which there is going to be a retest now. NTA has announced it, and the students have already taken to the streets. In fact, we have some breaking news also which is coming in. There's anger which is now pouring out on the streets. NTA has come under heavy fire for the reported errors which were there in UGC NET exams. Protests are being held outside the NTA office in the national capital that you can see on your screens. These are protests initially being staged by the NUSUI. The protesters are seen holding up posters of abolish NTA and showcasing Dimagi Naxal protests as well. These are the placards that you can see being held up by students. It is something which was initiated by Congress's student wing, but then there are other students also now joining in. Watch this.
The National Torture Agency has released a notification tonight. It is claiming that its expert committee has found discrepancies in the question paper setting of 3 subjects: English, Commerce and Sociology. Now, the students who had appeared for these 3 subjects are put into the additional torture of having to repeat their examination. NTA has scheduled the examination for the 9th and 10th of September. But what goes to show is the fact that NTA's own committee sets the paper, their own committee finds out the fact that there were serious errors in the names of scholars, in the names of books, in typography. NTA has messed up. And who is here to take accountability? Not the National Torture Agency.
In fact, we are going to go across to Kritika as well as Priyank, who are joining us. Kritika, you there at the NSUI protest site, but I believe now there are other students also who are joining in, not just the Congress Youth Wing workers. However, what is their demand? Can the demand now be restricted? After all, there's been a bill which has been passed in both houses of the parliament. You have the Education Minister who has been removed and there is a new one in place. NT has made promises, CBI has been probing this, but it continues. Is it possible and tenable to give NTA another chance?
Well, Meghna, firstly, the students here are in fact stating that as far as the educational and the examination reforms are concerned, they only pertain to punishments. And what they overlook is everything that comes before. Such a scenario we're also seeing play out also in the cancellation of the UGC NET English, Sociology as well as Commerce papers, which have been marred by substantial repetition of previous year's question paper as well as technical errors, grammatical errors and illogical questions also being put up. So this is the first demand. The first demand for the students is for a banning and calling for a scrap on the National Testing Agency. Students have said that centralization of examinations isn't working anymore and that every examination has to be reconducted. Even this UGC NET examination was also cancelled back in 2024 as well, when the Home Ministry had pointed out towards how the integrity of that set of examinations could have been compromised. So yet again, we are seeing cancellations happen as far as the NTA is concerned. These students, specifically that of the NSUI, are also asking for both the Education Minister, now Mr. Prahlad Joshi, as well as for the Prime Minister to also answer on this entire debacle over the UGC NET examinations. Because remember, these students had been protesting since June end, since the examinations for this set of UGC NET papers had ended. They had been raising these concerns. You can still see a lot of them gathered across outside of the National Testing Agency's building. They've blocked off the entire entry to this area. You can see the security deployment as well. The CRPF forces as well as teams of the Delhi police, multi-layer barricading at the National Testing Agency's entrance. And so that nobody can in fact be allowed to let in. The president of the NSUI has also joined in. He's also stating, in fact, that the Dimagi Naxal banners are also being carried by a lot of protesters here. In fact, they're stating that anyone who asks for accountability is unfairly termed as Dimagi Naxal, and if that is going to be the case, then they are proud to be Naxals. This is also something that the president of the NSUI has also stated to us. Yes, yes.
Well, Kritika, do stay on with us. Priyanka, I'll just come to you. In fact, let's widen the frame. Tell you why the NTA has ordered a retest for these 3 UGC NET papers. It's not because of one isolated error. The NTA's own committee has flagged series of errors which were there, series of flaws which were there. So let's tell you. First, there were typographical errors there. Not just that, there were also errors which were there in translations. Translation errors, misspelled scholars' names, garbled book titles were also part of the exam paper. Faulty question wording, grammar was wrong, the punctuation was wrong. There were errors which were repeatedly put there in wrong questions which were there in these papers. But at the end of it, the question is, retest in the interest of fair exam, is that going to be the way it is? Or more importantly, as many people are now demanding, is it time to scrap the NTA? Do you believe them when they say that they are going to fix the system? Can they? So when will these candidates have to sit for the exam again? Let's break it down. If you're one of the candidates who has to give in a retest, this is what you need to know. The original papers were conducted in June and the fresh examination now is going to be held in September. This is the original one and now it is going to be held in September. The retest schedule is as follows. For English, for commerce, both of them are going to be on 9th of September. On sociology, it is going to be the 10th of September. What's important for us to point out is that there are going to be no additional fees for candidates and there is going to be no reduction in the number of seats. The original schedule, as I was telling you, is this, which is going to be in September. The earlier it was held in June. So the questions being asked is 3 months later, again now you want the students to go back, start studying and get themselves retested. That's the question. Those are the reasons why there is a lot of angst, and this is something which was conducted, of course, by the National Testing Agency. What is the exam for? This is for research students, and the results are going to be linked to opportunities such as junior research fellowships, assistant professor posts, eligibility and PhD admissions are going to be depending on this and how these students fare in these exams. So next one I'm going to tell you about is the UGC NET. What is the exam for? As I was telling you, it's a national eligibility test conducted by the National Testing Agency.